Hello, YouTube. I just figured it'd been a long time since I'd had a chat where I've got the side chat there available to answer. Because usually I'm on the mobile. But it's a Sunday night. And I just got up from a few-hour nap, so yeah. Now I'm on vacation this week here now. And so I've got a bunch of projects I got to do. I am looking at, though, trying to get lined up a Sephora makeover for Thursday morning. And I'm trying to get it where they'll let me go ahead and live stream it. I figured that could be fun. Turn my fan on there. I'm having a smoke. Oh, there we go. Had a troll come by, give me a thumbs down. That's so nice of him. Hello, Jasmine. How are you? Yeah, I didn't know who'd be around this time of night on a Sunday night. But I figured I'd do it live here for a little bit. Considering most of them I'm busy doing something, so I don't really have time to work with the side chat. But, yeah. I'm playing around here with the control room bit. It's been a long time since I've actually sat here on one of these. Well, hello, Deep in the Woods. How are you? I was just playing around, trying to see if I know there's a way from the main screen on here to invite people, and that's why I'm kind of playing around with it. Well, hello, Gwen. How are you? Yeah, Maxine. No, I just got up from a nap. I'm lying down and taking a nap there. Now, I've got on a new dress here that I just got here recently. It's a sweater dress. So, the only problem with it is it attracts the dog fur. Nah, the white dog fur likes to stick to it. Now, my daughter is at a birthday party of one of her little friends, and the wife is over there, so I am home alone. So naturally, when you're home alone, what do? You live stream. Now, we're supposed to be getting snow coming in tomorrow, so we'll see how that works. I went on ahead earlier today and I got the trailer winterized, so I don't have to worry about the plumbing freezing. Alright. Yep. Oh, are you in Colorado too, here deep in the woods? Now I'm in Colorado Springs, where we look out at Pikes Peak. So, okay. Yeah, I say it's been a long time since I've actually done a live from a desktop. So, tell you what though, here's a link if anybody's interested in coming in. All you got to do is click it and feel free to jump on. And if they want to shut me down, they shut me down. Oh, well. I am not worried. Now, I spent the morning out in the yard there. The yard has gotten overloaded with elm saplings. We have an elm tree, and for some reason, between the two trailers out back and on the other side of the RV, boy, does it like to sprout up with trees with all the rain we had this summer. And I hadn't even walked over there in a couple of months. And I walked over there during the week and I saw it. It's like, oh my God, I got trees that are like 8 foot tall over there alongside the RV. So I went out and cut all that crap down this morning. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and the thing is, when she did the wood chips, she didn't put any weed barrier or anything underneath. So when it rains, it's a nightmare with the weeds. And she has spent many, many hours out there picking the weeds. But the house is up for sale. I don't know what's wrong with the house, but they have had quite the stream of people coming through and looking at it this weekend. And they only stay a few minutes and they're gone. Now, she took her fence that was on the other side of her yard, moved it over to this side, and so she's got it between our houses now. It's a 6.5 foot high solid wood fence, and she threw it up so it angles to where the back end over here right behind the outside is 9 inches into my yard. Now then, for one, a solid wood fence you can't have in your front yard. And code says in the front yard you only have 4 foot high, and the top 18 inches has to be 25% see-through. So she is totally trying to misrepresent her property. But what she's trying to do is cover up. I've got no trespassing signs and all of that on the side of the house. She's trying to twist it around that we're the bad people. And it's so funny because she's run all over the neighborhood telling everybody how bad we are and how we attack her and all of this. And she's got her house for sale. Nobody wants to buy it. So she's driving her own price down. I've got to laugh about it. You know? I mean, she's asking top dollar and she'd be lucky to get minimum dollar. But the fact that, you know, you've got the videos on here where she was building her grow room and everything else even. I don't know. She's basically buried herself. But then with the fence, the fact that it's over onto our yard, and she knows it is, she went out back in the alley and she physically pulled the property marker. She pulled it out and threw it on top of the ground and threw my pole with the flag over into my yard because I went on ahead and had it marked. And so yeah, now a survey is $6,500, which she's going to have now because she has pulled the marker. And so I'm just letting the people come through and look at the house. And when it looks like she's got a potential buyer, at that point, I'll call code enforcement on her. And then she will have a mess on her hands. But that fence is going to have to go. And, she's just trying to hide everything because she keeps attacking us. And I've done things to make it very obvious she's been attacking us. And, yeah. Yep. Yeah, $6,500 there to get a certified survey in this neighborhood. Yep. But we're fighting this in court here, and I am trying to get her up in front of a jury. I am doing everything I can to do that because we're going to rip her to pieces. Oh, believe me, Dr. Janice would be a sweetheart for a neighbor compared to her. But yeah, so, the biggest thing we've done to her is nothing. She attacks us. She constantly and everything she can to vandalize my property and everything else. And she's got no response, and it's driven her stark raving mad. I mean, she is just, oh, we are so evil. Yeah, we're mentally torturing her by not going after her. So, yeah. But no, that fence, they moved it over from the other side, and here they drilled holes in the ground to put casings in there and filled them with concrete and the whole bit to hold the fence up. They're going to have a ball pulling that shit out. I just sat back, let her do it. She's got it all nicely done on the other side with flowers against it and everything else. And yeah, you plant all these flowers right when we're getting ready to have snow and a freeze. So basically, she's going to wind up with all of her flowers frozen out, and then she's going to have to butcher the hell out of the fence. But yeah. But no, having a fence that high and the fact she's clear out to the sidewalk, it actually, under the law, is considered a traffic violation also. Because we can't back out of the driveway without seeing who's coming down the street. So, yeah. Yeah, that's fine, Dr. Janice. You go ahead and record it. I'm just pointing out the facts here. So, yeah. No, you can record all you want for her with how freaking stoned she is. She wouldn't be able to comprehend it properly anyhow. But sometime this week, I've got to replace my chimney over here on my fireplace. And I need to figure out how to get some room around it so we can have a fire again. Then I need to bust a bunch of wood. But winter's coming. Now the truck is no longer in the driveway. I was forced to move it by her. And now the tree, we brought the tree in. It was out there for like 2 years, and then we took it out. But that was our new dead tree when we brought it in. I went through a lot of work to bring that thing in and stand it up. Why do I have it turned on? It's my daughter's college fund. So it's set up to where anybody that wants to donate, the money goes into an account that's my daughter's college fund. So if you want to send my daughter to college, feel free to donate. No, we've got good neighbors all around us. So, in fact, the guys on the other side of us over here, you know, they're out there between the houses working on their motorcycles and everything else. And I got the floodlight up there that if they're out there in the dark, it's on a motion sensor. They can see what they're doing. But, nah, they're good people. Now we got some new people that have moved in across the street, a couple of families that don't know us from Adam, but my neighbor has made sure to go over and bash me to him, which, go ahead. And then the neighbors that do know us have a whole different story, but you know. Good toward my daughter's therapy. My daughter's not going to need any therapy on that. Now tell me something, Janice. Would you rather I ran around with my pants falling off my ass? Would that be more appropriate? I mean, that I think does more damage to the kids. Do I collect wheelchairs? No, but we have one because both of us have been in it at times. Goodness. I tell you what. You always got to deal with the trolls. Now, the bit with the truck basically is registered as an RV. And the one stipulation in the code is you've got to have 10 feet between your RV and the sidewalk. In this neighborhood, there's no way you're going to do that. And so long as nobody had a problem, they didn't care. But she decided to use that little niche there to come after me, as well as calling my workplace and falsifying all kinds of stuff, trying to get me fired, and running around to the neighbors trying to get them to falsify statements. And she's a freaking whack job from hell. And I just hope that, you know, when you're buying a house, you're supposed to get the inspectors in there to check it all out. Her electrical is so screwed up and everything else. I know for years she's had walls with no power. She said, when you plug this in, then okay, that over there goes out. And so, yeah. Now, as far as the bit with the fence, I don't want to see the buyer to have to deal with it, because the buyer then is responsible for a fence that violates code, and it's going to have to be removed and all. And I can't stick a new buyer with that. She's the one that stuck it on my yard over here. She can remove it. Okay. Nice. She built the wall to keep herself out. I thought that was classic. Because that's the only way she'd stay out of my yard, is let her build the freaking wall up there, the fence, to keep her ass out. But no, I am nice to everybody. I've given her free wood. I've taken her trees down. I've done all kinds of stuff for her. And then she decides to viciously attack us. Just out of the blue at midnight on December 29th. It's like, what the hell? She knows I'm working 15-hour days all through the holidays. She gets cops over banging on my door. It's like, no. She's claiming the property line suddenly moved over 2 feet. My hedge and the tree out here that's right on the line are suddenly hers. And It's like, nah. I don't have to worry about that, Janice. My cameras are high enough on the house. I see right over it anyhow. So, and with all her drug dealings and everything else, I've got so much freaking video, and that's what her whole thing is the fact that she was freaking growing and selling pot out of the house and selling oxycodone and had everybody under the sun over there. That's why she always had the gun. And I've got so much video of this shit. And right at the moment, I can't post that stuff because of the court bit. But anyhow. Now, when she finally moves out, I'll take the camera down. Actually, I'll spin it around into my own yard. Because that's the whole idea to begin with. As long as she keeps attacking us and keeps vandalizing my property and trying to steal my shit and everything else, no, the cameras stay. Yeah, pot is legal, and you're only allowed to have six plants in different stages of growth. And this woman was renting rooms and rooms full of plants. And I mean, you can't grow and sell out of your house. That is illegal. So, and she knows that, and I've confronted her on it, and I've tipped the police off on it. I told them they were going to get a call from me in September about it, because at that point, you know, her plants would be plenty big enough we'd be smelling them. And then she decided to get rid of them rather than get caught with them. So, which I got the video of her hauling all that shit out, putting it in the truck, taking it out of here. So, yeah. Janice, only if you're dealing drugs in my neighborhood and you got every kind of freaking thug at your door in the middle of the flipping night. And you want to come over into my yard and threaten my life with your freaking gun? No, I don't deal with that shit. She has no business being in my yard with her gun. Basically, she's just lucky I didn't take a chainsaw to her and make her quadriplegic out of her. Because that would be perfect. Then she could lay there the rest of her life and think about all the shit she's done to us. You know, she's done that to everybody. Leroy on the other side of her, she set his trees on fire. She set his lawnmower on fire. And she's gotten away with all this shit. And so, no, I don't trust her an inch. Now, she's taken most of her cameras down here because the house is up for sale. And that way she can pose us as the bad guy. And it's like, all right, if we're such an evil person, all that's doing is driving your property value down. You know, come on. What the hell are you thinking? What she needs to do is just be nice to us and stay the flip on her own property. And take that gun and stick it up her ass. And, hey, pull the trigger on it, bitch. You know? This guy doesn't run, okay? I'm an American. I stand my ground, okay? I don't run from nothing. Well, correction. I'll run from a charging bull. Other than that, no, I don't run. And I think that's what surprised her, because she was trying to drive us out of here. No, I ain't leaving. It's my home. Mm-hmm. No, didn't issue a threat there. I just said that's what you should do with it. Goodness. Yeah, you go ahead and report it, Dr. Janice. You'll twist it all around. And anyhow. But you know, I do have one thing I can do. Problem solved. Hmm. Hmm. Hey, you want to be a guest in my room, you know? You need to be nice. Hmm. Uh, I don't know what kind of snow we got coming in tomorrow, but I go for my DOT physical in the morning, so we'll see. I've got it now, though, where you've got to have an appointment for your DOT physical. We always walked right in and got it done. And so what is it? Yeah. But yeah, so my card expired a week ago last Friday. And the nearest appointment I could get was the 9th. So I'm on an expired DOT card, so, you know, hey, I can't drive a truck at the moment. But, but I'll go and get that done. I had all my doctors lined up there a week ago, and had my medical doctor and my cardiologist and all of that, because they've all got to work me over. They've all got to sign off on it. They faxed all the paperwork over to them, so I should be able to just go in and get my card now. You know, have him do his physical and walk out with my card. Because every year they put me through hoops. I've been through 2 heart surgeries. And so they literally picked me apart. However, my cardiologist did say she was going to help me out here. Or his assistant. She upped my blood pressure medication, so now I should pass it with flying colors. And I actually got my eyes checked a few months back and got new glasses and the whole bit, so that'll help. So, yeah. So I am hoping to pass this tomorrow without having to sweat it. And my lower back issues and all. The doctor decided that he was going to try me on something here, which I've been taking ibuprofen for the pain because my back is worn out and the discs are gone and the nerves are pinched, and so it's pretty ugly. And so he's trying me on a painkiller. He says it's kind of like ibuprofen, but it's a 24-hour thing and you only take 1 pill, so it's less invasive. Now, the problem is it takes like up to 3 days before you start feeling the relief from it. And you can't take ibuprofen when you're taking it. So I started it this morning. I started it last night. And I think I'm on vacation. So hopefully by Monday, Tuesday, it'll be kicking in. I won't be in pain. But no, my back is a mess, guys. All the years of throwing beverage. Yeah, there we go. Okay, but there is, let me get this so I can see it here. There is the view of my lower back there. And as you can see, the discs that are gone, how the vertebrae have been rubbing on one another, and they're like duck-billed. Yeah. And then we've got this here, which is the front view. But you can see the missing disc in there where the two vertebrae have grown together. Those are the crooked ones. And yeah. So basically my back is a train wreck. They were surprised I could walk out of the office when they did the x-rays. And then I get people on YouTube here that say, you know, you walk funny. Well, you know, I'm lucky to be walking. I'm just happy to be able to get around. So, yeah, it pinches the nerves in the legs and everything else, so I get all kinds of pains from it. So that's why this summer I haven't done much in the way of wood. I've spent a lot of time on my vibrating seat pad here. So that's basically the one relief I can get is sit on the vibrator. I know, sit on the vibrator. Sounds like a joke. Yeah. Let me see. I'm going to jump over here, see if I can unblock Janice. If I can find where that falls over here. There we go. All right, she's unblocked. Would you quit being a problem? What? What do you want? What do you want, huh? Okay. There we go. I unblocked Janice so she can come in if she wants. Now, Tyson is an American Bulldog. He's a rescue. We got him from Dream Power over here. Well, it used to be Dream Power. They closed since then. But now the previous owner got him when he was a puppy and shoved him in a box in a kennel. And he spent the first 10 months of his life stuck in a kennel box. And then the guy just figured that, well, when you let him out of the box, you know, he did the puppy nip. But when you're that big and floppy on the mouth here, you know, and all those teeth in there, he'd bite you. And so the guy's like, okay, you know, he bit me, and so he beat him with a stick, burned holes in his head with a cigarette, and took him over there and says, look, you need to take this dog or I'm going to shoot him. Now, he never got to learn how to be a puppy. And so he was like, you buy a blank computer, you got to program it. And he wants to do what's right. And once he understands what's right, he's good as gold. So, yeah, I've done a lot of work with him. I'm so proud of him. That's why we call him Mr. Tyson. He's earned it. But he's such a sweet and loving dog. And now we brought him home. He never even had a yard to go play in. It took him, I mean, he spent hours out there sniffing every little twig. Now, it took him like 3 days to figure out he could get up on the bed. And it took him, you know, several days to figure out he could actually stretch his legs out when he sleeps. Because he was so used to sleeping in the ball, being stuck in a metal box. So, yeah. Right now he's a bed hog. He takes up most of the bed at night. Is that sweetie? Hey, you gonna tip your head up here? Hey, there we go. But he's so funny. If you look at his teeth in here, his bottom jaw is V-shaped. His top jaw is bell-shaped. So the teeth don't meet back here in the back. And so when he's eating, it's like food falls out the side. You're going to lay down here. But no, he's such a booby. But no, the first week or two I had him, I wouldn't come home at night without a bag of cheeseburgers or something. I had to have something in my hand to shove in his mouth to keep him from jumping up and biting at me, because he'd jump up, nip me on the arm, and yeah, it hurt, it'd bleed. Basically, it was a dog bite. But he was just excited to see you. And so I did a lot of work with him. And now that he understands, you know, the teeth don't go on people, he's good. And then we had a little food aggression issue there. I got quite the number on a finger here. I don't know if you can see that big scar there. It's pretty much clear around. But that was right after we got him there going into the holidays. Well, hello, Pam. How are you? Yeah, going into the holidays, Walmart had these 3-foot-long rawhide candy cane chewies. And I got each of the dog one. Well, our pit bull is a chewy thief. She'll steal everybody's chewy. That's her game. She'll just take them back, hide them in her cave here. But now when she tried to take his, he jumped her. And I had an armload of firewood at the time. And I dropped the firewood, and I grabbed him, had my gloves on. I grabbed him to pull him off of Coco. And I got my finger in the mouth. And he thought he really had something. He's shaking his head and all. And I pop him on the head with the other hand. It's like, hey, that's my finger. And then he's like, oh, sorry, Dad, sorry. But I came up behind him. He didn't know that was me. You know, I can't hold him for it. But then again, trying to get that through on the medical insurance. And all they do is just flush it out, and you can't stitch it up or anything. They've got to let it heal from the inside out because of fear of infection. So, yeah, you know, I've taken a few bites from him, but he's learned now. You know, he had to learn the hard way. I actually took him out there one night when he was jumping the other dogs and tied him up to the trailer in the backyard. You know, gave him like 10 feet of leash on it. And put his food and water out there and tied him to the trailer. And I left him out there for probably 2 hours. And talk about a way to break a dog. Because, you know, all of a sudden, he doesn't have his freedom. He's stuck in the yard. And we haven't had an issue with him since. Like I said, all I did was chain him up to the trailer there. And leave him alone in the yard. And that got through to him. That solved the whole issue. So, yeah. He hasn't jumped anybody since then. He's been a good boy. And that's been, oh gosh, that was probably like a year ago or something. So. Oh, you want to see my dress here? Yeah, I got my doggy at my feet. Yeah, it's a sweater dress. It's fitting. It's a, I don't know, not really a fit and flare. But it's one of those, I saw it over at Kohl's. And it's got the really wide shoulders on it. It's clear out here on it. So, yeah. So you can't really wear a bra with it, because then you get the bra strap showing. So, oh, hello, dear. You done with the movie? Well, me and Tyson are here on YouTube. Okay, so you did get them finally, Pam. Okay, because those are real Koya pearls. I noticed they were strung awful tight, but once you wear them a little bit, they loosen up and they lay right. But yeah, basically, I got it from the guys that actually grow the pearls. So that's why I made the comment the other night in your fish tank. It's nothing that Rick couldn't grow in the fish tank with the right shellfish. So yeah, yeah. Hopefully tonight, Pam, we can have a good time over there. I get a little burnout on the drama all the time. I mean, I'll leave your window up and I'll just go play somewhere else and check back in a bit. You know, I'm not a big drama fan, but you know it's one of those. If you don't like the channel, change it. Well, I support you guys. I'm at least gonna leave the window up in the background, so you know. Hey, Kim, the dress lady, is my wife there, Janice. So where I may have thrown you out, she can do the same thing. There's only 3 people that have a wrench in my room. My wife, Trisha, and Sesame. So, but those are the 3 people that have a wrench. So yeah. All right, you take care, Deep in the Woods. Gotta love Janice. I tell you what. Hey, she may be married to me, but you know what? We have a lot of fun. You know. Which reminds me, we do want to go to Casa Bonita up in Denver one night. And that is a Mexican restaurant where they have indoor cliff diving and all. So, yeah, we want to take our daughter up there so she can see the show because it's a lot of fun. It's a pretty good drop into the pool there for her. And so, yeah, she'd love it. Which should make for great video. I may live stream it if I got reception there. We'll see. She puts up with all my live streaming when we go to these places. So, yeah. My wife gonna make videos? That's purely up to her. Her thing is, you know, she likes her quiet time where she's knitting and crocheting and needlepoint and all of that. Whereas my fingers are too stiff. I'd go nuts with that. So. Oh, do they have Casa Bonita on South Park? I never watched South Park. It's a case of who's the little guy that gets killed in every episode? You know, I just couldn't bear to see that. No. Now, Janice, this is probably the best therapy I can get. So, well, hello, tribe. How are you? Woohoo! So now, what is this, tribe? You're telling me the other night you had your chat there where Shay passed away, and now they're telling me he's got a channel. I haven't found the channel yet, but come on, don't do that to people. I got the little white bikinis on again, same ones I always wear with little strings on the side. Yeah, no, Tribe put out there, and he screwed up on it because he was saying Monday, whereas he had it dated for Sunday. But, yeah.
Yeah, no, I like the old-fashioned little white bikini panties. I can say I found some that, they hold my junk and they're comfy. And basically, it feels like you're running around naked, but it holds everything together there. Yeah, I need to get Kelly in here, don't I? Get Kelly in here on panel. That would be funny. But Kelly pulled, it was like 10 hours or something straight through on the live chat last night. And she finally had to get some sleep. Well, let me see. It's 5:48. Kelly got off the chat at probably 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock this morning. She might be just waking up. Next thing you know, Janice is going to want to know what kind of bra I got on because, like I said, there's definitely no straps there. And as you can see there, I can't get the light right. Oh, well, there you go. See, they're doing nice. I don't know what the deal is with Shay. Like I say, some people said he's got another channel. I haven't found it. I don't know. Like I said, when Tribe said that he'd had a stroke and he got a text from Ricky and they couldn't pull him out of it, I believe him. So maybe I'm a sucker. I am not one to claim somebody died like that. That's cruel, especially right after all the Vegas crap. But no, with Vegas, that's an ugly scene. You know, the fact that he's shooting from 1,000 yards away and all that, that's part of where it all came from. With all the big buildings, the sound echoes, you probably couldn't pinpoint where it was coming from, much less think 32 floors up. Shay has nothing to do with Vegas, but to claim that he passed away right after Vegas, you know that. And then, of course, you know, Tom Petty passed away. And you think it was a CIA operation, huh? Well, with Obama in the White House, I believe it. With Trump in the White House, I doubt it. Unless Hillary had something to do with it because she was so quick to speak out the next day about gun control. Which, I'm sorry, more people die in automobile accidents than they do from guns. So I think we ought to take away the cars before we take away the guns. Now, I've always been a Tom Petty fan. Always been a Tom Petty fan. I've got 8 tracks of his. So if that tells you anything. Oh, Hillary's a complete nut job. She's that far leftist whack job, just like my neighbor. So they fit the mold perfect. Oh, Janice, I carry 1 can of Coke in my lunchbox when I go to work. Quite often it comes home. I probably drink maybe 2 Cokes, sometimes maybe 3 Cokes in an entire week. So, no, the Coke is not the problem. Now, the obesity thing,
They want to blame it on soft drinks and chips. You know, Coke and chips have been around far longer than the obesity issue. And if you look at it, instead of kids getting outside and playing, they want to sit there and do their video games and stuff. So it's more, the people are not exercising like they should. It's calories in versus calories burned. Now, granted, people have different metabolisms. You know, I can eat like a horse and I'm pretty much maintain the same shape. My weight fluctuates about 15 pounds, and I can do that on a daily basis at times. So, yeah. Well, you know what? It's your option if you want to buy my soda. Thing is, there's no real connection between any of that with Coke. However, Pepsi, their Mountain Dew, they still have the brominated vegetable oil in it, which is a known cause of testicular cancer. When they found there was a connection to that, we had it in our red Powerade. We pulled it out. So we don't use brominated vegetable oil in anything. But they still have it in their Mountain Dew. And so all these college kids that live on Mountain Dew going to wind up getting their nuts cut off later on in life. Yeah, it's pretty sad. But Pepsi's not going to change it. All right. I always knew you had good taste there, WDF. Coke is not addictive. Believe me, in the beginning when I first started with Coke, I drank a lot of Coke. But I don't know. You know, the first 10 years, I had all kinds of Coca-Cola stuff in my house and the whole bit. And after that, it's like, you know what, when I come home, I don't want to see Coca-Cola everywhere. You know, December 3rd will be my 31st year with them. That's why my back is gone. But, yeah. But I haven't seen any medical results on high fructose corn syrup. I haven't seen where it's of any issues. You know, granted, if you live on soft drinks and don't brush your teeth, you're going to rot your teeth out. Hey, you be nice to Joe Camel. I smoked Camels for 13 years, 2.5 packs a day like clockwork. Now, I smoke the pipe. I don't trash my lungs with it a whole bit. Now then, I do have, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo, which I'll probably smoke it this week. It is a Rocky Patel 1990. One of my favorites. No, it's funny. When I went to try to quit smoking, it was all because of the cost. Now, I went from regular Camel filters to Camel Lights, and then I cut back to some ultralight brands. And as long as I could get my 2 cartons every week for under 20 bucks, I was good. Well, you know, I could set that 20 bucks aside out of my paycheck, and I was hitting the Indians for the longest time, even after prices went up, because it was one of my, right in my area, I drove right by it. And so when it got to the point where they went up to where I could not get my 2 cartons for 20 bucks, and I'd find myself sitting there hanging on to that 20 bucks, and it's like, all right, my kids at home needed milk in the house, but I couldn't part with it. So I found in the doctor's office one day, and he's got a poster on the wall for the Nicoderm patch. And, you know, I asked him about it. And at that point, our insurance would fill any 3-month prescription for 10 bucks.
So it's like, all right, $10 was less than the cost of a carton of cigarettes. So, I asked him, it's like, well, I'll tell you what, you write me out the prescription, I'll send it in. If they fill it, I'll try it. And it worked. It got me off the cigarettes. Because cigarettes, there's so much you're connected to on what you do. And that was the hardest thing to break. I was loving the nicotine from it. But like when you get in the car, you'd light up. When you walk through into the back room of the store, you'd light up. And now you can't smoke there anyhow. But yeah, there were so many things that psychologically you were connected to lighten up. And they always told me when I cut back on brand, I'd smoke more. Well, I did 2.5 packs a day like clockwork. It's like, there is no way I can smoke more. There's not enough time in a day. So, but that worked. It got me off of them. And now I like an occasional cigar. And I found the pipe, put it this way. I've been on that same freaking can of tobacco now for probably a week and a half. That's like $8 at Walgreens. So, a little bit of, you gotta have something in life. Life's not worth living if you can't have a little enjoyment. The reason he doesn't have any teeth was he would refuse to brush his teeth. No matter what we did, you could not get that boy to want to brush his teeth. And so he had to learn the hard way. And then, of course, he went through his span of trying drugs and finally realized that, he got smart at least and got out of it because he realized that, that's a dead-end road that goes nowhere. So, and he went back, and because he dropped out of school when he got into the drugs. He got held back, and then when he turned 18, he dropped out. And then he went back. He got his GED, and he has worked from the bottom up to get where he is. He's done it the hard way. So, but if you don't brush your teeth, you're not going to have teeth. You just bought $900 worth of cigarettes. Wow. I don't smoke your pot. They send me down for random drug testing whenever. I mean, there for a while I was going like every quarter. But, I can pee in a jug anytime. I don't even eat poppy seeds because it can give you a false positive. My job is too important to me. Daniel was never really the big soda drinker. But when we buy soda, we'd get like the caffeine-free Coke or we'd buy the generic whatever. You got to be responsible for your own actions. At this point, everybody blames somebody else. It's like they tried to put me on a jury there with this gal that walks into McDonald's in her flip-flops, grabs a cup of coffee, and then she steps around a wet floor sign and slips and splattered 2 drops of coffee on her arm. Now, I didn't make the jury on it, but I sat through it. And they awarded her $7,200, $1 a day for sunscreen for the rest of her life. Now, she was a big Texas gal, claimed she'd never been hurt in her life. She looked like she could go out and wrestle bulls for a living. And it's like, you know what? If I stepped around there and I slipped and I poured hot coffee on my arm, I'd think to myself, that was a stupid move, and be done with it. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm on bonus overtime, Janice. I was supposed to be dead New Year's Eve of 2013. So I am beating all the odds at this point. My cardiologist is not worried about the pipe. And I trust my cardiologist. If he's not worried about it, I'm not going to worry about it.
You know? Okay, so they are starting to find accomplices. Yeah. Well, with all of it, it's like for him to put it all together, you know, somebody had to know something or help him get a hold of the weapons or what. I don't know. No, no, I'll tell you something on the weapons. If you know the right people, you can get fully automatic weapons. You can get grenade launchers. You can get whatever the hell you want. Now, my wife was dating a guy that basically was considered a transfer man. He worked the tarmac at the airports, and they'd send him to different airports. And he'd have some little job where he had access to the plane. And basically, his job was to move this stuff from one plane to another plane. And what they were doing was shipping it up in the wheel wells. And, you know, the guy worked the tarmac at DIA for a while. Then he was down in Florida for a while. And he was in Alabama for a while. And wherever the shipments, wherever the stuff was coming in, they would send him there. And, yeah, the fact that they were shipping this stuff on commercial airlines that we all fly. And I had to question every time there was a flight with a landing gear problem, what they found up in there. Because that's where they were shoving this crap. So, yeah. No, it's the stuff comes in right under our nose. No, she wound up married to this guy, and then she wound up divorcing him. But she got out before he got nailed to the wall. But yeah, no, there was good money in it. Basically, all he had to do was make sure that if it was coming in on this plane, you got it out of it, and you moved it over to this plane. And that's what he was doing. So, yeah. No, she went on and on and on telling me all about, you know, how this whole scenario works. And I'm like, holy shit. But yeah. Things people do. And okay, the worst thing I do is I go ahead and I put Coca-Cola and Monster Energy out in front of you, face it up so it looks pretty, and try to make sure it's got good pricing on it for you. It's your choice if you want to buy it. And I may not fully agree with energy drinks, but man, do we sell the crap out of them. Now, you believe what you want, Janice. Like I say, this shit goes on. So, Ricky loves his Coke. Hey, keep your insides all cleaned out. Keep all the rust out of there, that's for sure. I gotta hand it to you. I've probably got a bottle of Osfo out here in the cabinet, which is full-strength phosphoric acid. And it works great on rust. Turns iron oxide into iron phosphate. If you've got a rusty surface, well, it's like if you got a new fender or something, or a new body part, go ahead and spray it with water, let it get the powdery rust on it, and then spray it with phosphoric acid. And at that point, it's not going to rust unless it gets scratched or damaged. And then you can prime it and paint it, and that's how they get it. I have no idea, Janice, but go ahead and invest in it. Now, was it last weekend or the week before? I think it was last weekend when we went to the fashion runway. But, yeah, I won. Turns out there's only one pair of VIP Bull Rider tickets that
basically top dog in the plant got the tickets, and I wound up with them. Now you had the VIP experience where you got to do the meet and greet with the bull riders, front row for the show where you actually got the dirt kicked in your face and everything else. And I gave them to my neighbor over here, the Arizona Cowboys, because hey, we were headed to the fashion show that weekend. So yeah, I gave away bull rider passes there for the fashion runway, but I couldn't have given them to somebody that loved it more. They had a ball. You know, you were right there that, yeah, you got the dirt literally kicked on you and everything else. And they thought that was awesome. But that was from selling, being top dog on percentage increase on monster sales. So. No, Janice, I'm doing everything I can to get that monster stock up. But no, and they finally changed our pay scale around. So rather than be on a salary plus bonuses, now they have us on a base rate plus commissions. So it's like, okay, I'm enjoying the money from that now. I don't know what winter's going to do for me, but we'll find out. But Monster is a group 2, which means it pays better than 12 packs or 2 liters or anything. So, no, we love just having you here, Pam. I like sitting on the porch there. You got a good crowd. Now, I did sub Trisha, and I've been watching a bunch of Trishas. And I tell you what, Trisha's been so beat up by the trolls that she is so skeptical of anybody she doesn't really know. So, you know, it's like, that's fine. You know, I'm here to watch. But she is interesting. Now, the other night, she came on just as I was leaving Callahan. So I pulled it up on the phone and stuck it up in the windshield there. And I'm driving in that nastiest rain and wind and, you know, 2-lane road, 60 miles an hour, 65 miles an hour, and heavy traffic. And, yeah, it's like if it wasn't for the fact you can just touch the button and talk to it and have it converted to text. You know, I told her, it's like, well, you know, I can't really do the side check because I'm driving. Welcome home. Did you have fun? Okay. It's my chat, so it's all right if you want to pop in. Yeah. But yeah, and she's like all worried about, driving and, you know, doing chat, not a good idea. But no, it's okay. I'm smart enough. So how are you, dear? Good. Welcome home. I had me a good nap. I don't know how long I slept, but I got up.
You probably took a nap.
I got up, what, about a little before 5? So, yeah. Anyhow. Now, I tell you what, there is more drama, though, over there on Trisha's channel. But it gave me a good alternative to, you know, get tired of listening to the news or the music, you know, and so gave me something different to listen to. Because basically, you know, I couldn't really watch it or anything. I was driving, so, but I can always listen.
Daddy, look. Look it.
Wow. Cool.
It's a balloon and it has bubbles.
Is that bubble juice?
It's mostly candy, though.
Yeah.
38 most of my airheads.
Yeah.
My airheads are good.
Well, Janice, diabetes does run in my family. They watch me close for it. I'm not that big of a sweets eater anyhow, so I'm not that worried.
I was watching you the whole time in the car.
You were? Oh, no. You've been spying on me. Just don't dump it over there. Just shake the chair, you're going to knock the thingy. There we go. Now, basically what her glasses are for is she's got one eye that is slightly weaker than the other, and the glasses are trying to correct that. So
This one's not round.
yeah. And so yeah, what they're trying to do is, because she's basically got one real dominant eye,
Right here.
and so they're trying to force her to get the other one more dominant. That's the whole idea behind the glasses. So that way both eyes work equally well.
Daddy, look.
I know, you got a smarty. Goodness, Janice. Do you notice something up here, Janice? That's an apartment air conditioner blower up there that sucks the smoke up and out of the house. Okay.
He made that.
Yeah. That's why the pull cord is right here, okay? I sit down in my chair, I turn the blower on so I don't smoke the house up. I know what diabetes is. My mother died from it from playing Russian roulette.
It fell.
Oh, it fell? Okay. That's not the one I got on today. That's the red. I got that. Sparkly red. Probably one next to it. Can be the darker red, probably. Yeah, it was there. It probably fell too. Is it on the floor? No, it's over here, the other side of my cup. That one, that's the one I got on. Mm. There we go. Okay.
I'll be right back.
All right.
I'm just gonna go get a drink.
But no, we didn't want a house that smelled like smoke, so I got a blower up there. That way I could sit in my chair and smoke. That's why you don't see me out in the kitchen or anywhere else smoking. Now, my mother, though, like I said, she'd play Russian roulette with it. And she figured if she took more insulin, she could eat sweets. Well, then one day she went down for lunch, and it seemed she'd forgotten her insulin, and she had a piece of chocolate cake for dessert. She made it back into her room, pulled in alongside the counter where she always parked. Now, there was a phone about 3 feet up the counter. There was a pull cord about 2 feet behind her. And the cart was still on. She still had her left hand on the button. And she pulled in. She put her arm on the counter and rested her head for a minute. And that was it. She died there. And they didn't find her for 2 days until the neighbors were complaining about the smell because she didn't want the checks. So, yeah. And going through her apartment, you know those orange, spongy marshmallowy things they call circus peanuts? Did you know you can get those in a 5-pound bag that's the size of a flipping pillowcase? She had these things stashed in her drawer. I mean, I never saw so much candy in my life as I did in her apartment. It's like, Jesus, Mom, what were you thinking? But yeah. Oh, well, Janice, you know what? If that's the worst vice I've got in life, oh, well. You know, I may go out and grab a wine cooler in a little bit because I got some in the fridge. So add that to my list. Being I'm on vacation, I don't have to get up in the morning, so I can actually drink this week. I don't drink anything if I've got to get up in the morning because it always makes me sluggish. And I can't have a drink and then go to work tomorrow and be able to perform properly. I've got to be able to frickin' be pumped and hyped and all over it. Is she old enough to read? Put it this way, she's old enough to correct my spelling and my grammar errors. And, yeah. Yeah, she'll come out here and point out, Daddy, you misspelled that word. And now that's not right grammar. You need a Y on the end of that one. And she's a sharp little cookie. I want to introduce you to your future president, the first woman in the White House, okay? You think Trump is rough. Wait till she gets in there. By the time she gets done, this will be the kind of world you want to live in. Want to go let my doggies in? Do I got one out or they're all in? Go ahead, Cap. Sound like one was out.
Cocoa Puff's still in here. She's barking. They're all
What's
right
my
in the
favorite beverage? Water.
water.
Yeah.
See, that's what's in here.
That's what's in the cup here, Janice. Good old ice water. I don't know if you can see that. I'll probably spill it trying to tip it up for the camera, but it's full of ice water. She's got water in her bottle. Now, I found when I lived down in Florida running around, I could drink over 3 gallons of water a day, or 3 gallons of fluids, and still lose 11 pounds by the end of the day. And then I go home, because I drink like 3/4 of a gallon of water before I get in bed at night. I'd never even have to get up and go pee. But that was all from sweating it out. But yeah, I had a public store that was one of my first stops in the morning, and then it'd be the one I'd stop at on the way home to get whatever we needed for dinner. And yeah, I could actually drop 11 pounds in a day and drink over 3 gallons of fluid. But down there, you always carried a beach towel with you to dry the sweat off your brow so you could see to drive. You're talking to the kid. Her name's Morgan. You can address her as Miss Morgan. Oh, wow, is that my punching bag? No. But I want to. No. Ah. You're supposed to go. Supposed to Okay, Janice wants to know what you think of my new wig. Hey, I get a thumbs up. You got to put your hand out so you can see it. There we go. You dropped it. Is this a tickle button down here? No. I got a kick out of watching Kelly this morning. They're working out all the knots and stuff in the wig and getting it ready to go. Well, I got a 6-pack of them here that I just got. So, same wig. Basically, if I trash them, I just grab a new one. When they start getting frizzed, I just grab a new one. Yeah. You know what? I'm thinking I could probably. That was my box and my breast form adhesive. So that way they stay nice. They stay where you put them. Goodness. So do you have kids, Janice? Yeah, you come across as somebody that's either never had kids or so far in your past you've forgotten about them.
Daddy, look. Oh,
Wow. Oh, ew, that's disgusting. Woo! Your balloon's breaking wind. Woo! Oh, here we go. I got my box destroyer now. I throw the box in the wastebasket and Tyson pulls it out to tear it out.
no, you threw it past the wastebasket.
Oh, did I miss the wastebasket? Okay. I guess I ought to think about dinner here tonight. Did you guys eat at the party?
Mhm.
Okay, so you guys are good?
We ate cupcakes and pizza.
Ah. So I might be on my own tonight? Okay, so you just, rather than actually tie it off, you just got it closed up where you can open it back up. Yeah.
You always close a punch balloon where you can open it back up. Because look, that you push it in the balloon and
Okay.
there you go.
Thank you, doggy.
That was the doggy, not him. Not me. That was the dog.
There we go. Somebody barked in the window and Tyson had to go see what and just plowed my bar stool the camera's sitting on. Hey, when somebody barks, they all go look. You know, if you ever noticed in my videos, the bench across the front window there that's about the size of a twin bed, father-in-law that made that for us. And the doggies, that's where the dogs lay. So they're right in the window. They prop their chin right on the windowsill when they're laying there, and they look out the window all day. Problem is, it intimidates the mailman to the point we had to stick a mailbox out in the yard a ways there because he was afraid to come up by the window there to the house and put it in the mailbox. Has she ever been attacked by the dogs? No, but I tell you what, if you want to mess with her, you'll find out they can attack. No, they look out for her. She's out in the yard. You got all three of them there around her, keeping a close eye on her. We don't
The
have
only
to worry
time
about
they attack me is when they walk over.
Yeah, they will step on your foot at times.
Yeah.
Especially when they get in a hurry, somebody barks and they all want to go see. And then
Remember the time they were running to the window and then they all walked over me like a mad? That was
something's out there. What is it?
and then they knocked me. I fell over it, but there was a pillow right behind my head.
Mm-hmm.
And my head landed on the pillow and then they walked over me like a mad. That was funny.
Now, our pit bull, you got to watch out for her because when you're headed toward the door, she's going to come up behind you on a dead run and she's going to nail you in the back of the kneecaps.
Oh.
Basically, she just wants to barge her way out there and be first.
This is the candy I have left.
My candy. Wow.
Mine.
Mine.
Mine. Halloween. You get candy on Halloween.
I'll trade you a nail polish for a piece of candy now.
Actually, I will give you one Skittle here.
No, it's all right. You can have it.
You can have it. I'm just picking on you.
What color Skittle?
What color Skittles? I got a big bag out there. I don't need them.
What color Smarties?
I don't need them. I need to eat some dinner at some point.
I already had dinner. Pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, we have Pam and Rick coming on in about a half an hour.
And then I also had popcorn.
Ah, must be nice. Oh, I can make popcorn. Ooh, 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 ooh.
At the movie theater, we had popcorn.
All right.
And I still have popcorn from the movie theater.
Yeah. So what was the movie you went and saw?
The My Little Pony movie.
My Little Pony. Okay, I thought it was Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Oh, my bad.
No, it's My Little Pony the movie.
My Little
It
Pony.
came out yesterday.
Does My Little Pony sling a chainsaw and go after people? No? Gosh, that's no fun.
They turn into mer ponies.
They what?
They turn into mer ponies.
Mer ponies?
Mhm.
And then they swim?
Yeah.
Like mermaids? Okay. Hmm.
They think they have to find the queen of hippos, but they had to instead of the queen of hippos, they had to find the
So
queen
Janice decided to
Oh.
retract her own messages. Huh? Okay.
hippo something.
Well, hello, Granny. How are you? I'm just sitting around killing time. Figured I'd do a live hangout here for a bit. And Janice has been giving my daughter, or give me crap over my daughter here. Gotta love the trolls. But believe me, she's well educated on trolls. With Daddy being a YouTuber. So when she grows up, she's going to know how to deal with the trolls in her own chats.
I already have some videos started up, but Mama hasn't put out my channel yet. You put me on eBay and then you took me off eBay. Because I didn't want to be on eBay. I wanted to be on YouTube.
Goodness, aren't you the goody two-shoes there, Janice? Gosh, I'm sure you're perfect. You probably even go to church every day.
It's only on Sundays and Sundays. Usually only on Sundays.
Yeah. Well, now, Granny, I'm looking at trying to get it lined up for Thursday morning because Thursday is my birthday. And I'm wanting to go in and get a Sephora makeover. And I'm wanting to be able to live stream it.
You need to see Dr. Dave
I'm
next
trying to get
week.
that worked out.
You need to see Dave next week.
I don't know if I want him touching my back. After the last couple of times he shoved things around and all the pain, now that I got the x-rays, I don't know if I want to go see him or not.
Mama said to tell you you have to go see Dr. Dave next week.
Selling my daughter on eBay now. Put it this way, you couldn't pay me enough to take my daughter, okay? That's not happening. She's her own person. Nobody owns her.
I'm making a Smartie flower. Daddy, I made a Smartie flower.
Here we go.
I want to show them. Just let me.
But no, there was Sephora. I've got it. If I want to go to Cherry Creek Mall in Denver, all I got to do is call and get my time slot. They've already said, sure, I can live stream the whole bit. Now, I'm trying to see if I can get in locally over here. The JCPenney's on Powers has a Sephora, and they do the makeovers. So, yeah.
Can I
Really
show
backed up, literally full of shit. All right.
Show them.
What?
Show
Show them what? You doing designs with your Smarties?
the Smartie flower.
Wow. So 7 of them, if they're all the same diameter, make a perfect little design.
Look, there's one color and then the rest are the same on the outside.
Yep. which means no matter how big or how small the item is, it's always going to fit the same pattern. So if they were that big around and you had 7 of them, you could slide them all together and make that identical pattern. Okay.
Even if they're squares, you can still make one.
Well, but what I'm saying is when it comes to circles, okay, 6 will always go around 1, no matter how big they are, as long as they're all the same diameter. Okay?
Or you can have this
Even if they're tubes that big, 6 will go around 1.
I like making flowers. Which I want to eat this flower, but I'll make another flower. Actually, I can't make another flower. I don't have 7.
Janice, I do probably 2 or 3 times a day, easy. So every morning when I get up, usually at night when I come home from work, and before I go to bed.
I made a plus sign. I made a plus sign. Or a time sign. Ask me.
Yeah.
Oh, ask me what pneumatic starts with. Ask me what the first letter of pneumatic starts with. Ask me.
All right. So what are you looking at there, Janice? There's that one. There's the other one. Yeah, as you can see the duck bill on them there. That's where the bones grind on the bones. So, now you figure I've been with Coke for over 30 years now, and I've done free firewood for people that needed it for like 12 years.
Daddy, ask me what the first letter of pneumatic is.
Yeah, I don't have much of a back left.
Ask me what the first letter of pneumatic is.
What's the first letter of pneumatic?
P.
All right. Good job. All right. Now maybe I am full of shit. Did that take place right up there? Did that take place? Poop or tumors. Well, you know what? That's not what any of the other doctors were. Doctors weren't concerned about it, so I ain't worried. Considering I eat enough for about a family of 4, you know, it's hard saying. Could be on the way through.
I know my 3s.
You know you're right?
3s.
3s?
3, 6, 9.
Okay.
12, 15, 18. 21.
There we go. Lucky
24,
21.
26, 27. 30, 33, 36.
Good for you.
I learned that in class.
Now then. Let me ask you one here. Hold on, let me find something to write on here.
I can put a plain piece of paper.
I can just write on the back of the envelope if I can find one that's blank.
I'll be right back.
Here, I got one. Okay. Is that? Here's the number I wrote down. Okay, 4725. Is that number divisible by 3?
No.
Yes, it is. Let me show you a little trick. 5 and 2 is 7. 7 and 7 is 14. Plus 4 is 18, right?
8 and 1 equals 9. 9 is divisible by 3. 3 times 3 equals 9. So when you add the numbers across, okay, and if what you come up with then is divisible by 3, so that would be divisible by 3.
Ooh.
And to back that up,
Ooh. Daddy.
right, let me find my calculator.
I can find it.
You can?
Yeah.
I don't have my glasses on, I can't see it.
Calculator.
Okay.
I go.
So 47.25 divided by 3 equals 15.75. See, so it is divisible by 3. And that's the easy way to do it. So anything divisible by 3.
Calculator.
Forgive me. Now, Janice, it's little games like that that help make her smart. Yeah, the result isn't always a whole number, but that's how you know when it's divisible by 3. The digits, when you add them across, will add up to a number. You can just keep going down.
Write a problem down, like a math problem. I want to.
So you want addition, subtraction, multiplication, division?
Multiplication.
Multiplication?
Actually, division.
Division?
Yeah.
Ah. There we go. We'll give her a 21 divided by 7. Let's see here. She's working it out. Dun, 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 dun. She's gonna get it. Woohoo! Okay, what am I smelling? Yeah. There we go. Here we go, guys. Time for the commercial break.
She don't wear makeup and he's a dick. Come shoot the shit with Pam and Rick.
There we go. That's a word from our sponsor tonight. Wow. Okay, so it's 21 divisible by 3. All right. You got it, guys. Woohoo. Hello. How do you pronounce it? Ebru? Ebru?
I want to give you a math problem.
Oh, no. Can I use the calculator?
No.
Okay.
You have to figure it out.
Uh-oh.
What do you want? Plus,
You
minus,
decide.
division, or multiplication.
You
Which one?
decide. Uh-oh, she's going to put Dad to work here. Ah, Janice. Can't you be nice to anybody? Okay, she's working on a problem here. Now watch you come up with something like the square root of x times the relativity plus of r. Let me see. Let me work this out here. There we go. I gave you quite a few decimal point places there to go with it.
Is that a comma or?
No, that's a decimal point. In other words, it equals 18. Even. There is no fractions left. Now, do you know what pi is? 3.1416.
I know this one.
100.
This is
I don't
very
even need to write it down. 20 times 5, that equals 100. See, because it takes 20 nickels to make a dollar. Is Mama cooking something out there?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you're dumping out the envelope. Okay.
It fell out.
Mm. Woo! Apple or cherry? Okay, what was the question? I missed it. I want to know. I want to know. Nah. Oh, the apple or cherry, I bet was connected to pi.
I know it.
Pi is in, when you use the pi equation when you're trying to find things connected to circles. You want to know the area of it or the diameter of it or any of that. Oh, wow. You know, it's a garbage can over there. Throw it up here, it'll fall through one day and land in the can. Now then, if it's blueberry pie, isn't it 3.1417? Yeah. It's still got juice in it. What is she cooking? I can't tell by the smell. I hate to say it, but whatever it is, what I smell here smells like old gym socks. So it's hard saying what she's making.
Cheese tortilla.
Oh, okay. Cool. She making some for me? Or just you? Just you? Because I haven't eaten yet. Okay, she was frying cheese out there.
She has got chicken and stuff in the oven for you.
Oh, okay. Cool. Wow. I didn't expect her to come home and cook dinner. Gosh, I feel like royalty. So what's everybody up to tonight? Anybody got anything fun going on? Like I said, I got my DOT physical in the morning, and outside of that, yeah, no, I pretty much good for anything. Now I need to get the van in for, I figured I'd take it in, get the oil change and the tire rotated. Because there with Walmart, I got the tires from Walmart, and you get free tire rotation with it. So it's not worth me horsing with the big frickin' floor jack there to try to pick the thing up and change them. And I'm sorry, I'm getting a little tired of crawling underneath it. Changing the oil every 3,750 miles, which I seem to run about 4,000 on it instead. But yeah, doesn't take me long to do 4,000 on the job. So every few months I'm changing the oil on it. So I figured this time I'll take it over and let him do it at Walmart. Now if I get in right at 7 o'clock in the morning, I should be able to get right in and right out. But I figured tomorrow with the doctor there at 9:45, I'm not going to chance it. So I'll go get my DOT card's more important. And then after that, then one of the next days, well, it's supposed to snow tomorrow too, so. But then one of the days after that, I'll take it in. I need to clean the van out and organize it. With the long hours I've been working, it's a mess. That I'm sure there's a bunch of crap in there I don't need. So, which later in the week we got good weather, so I'll pick a day there during the week and go out. See about really doing a job on the van. You know, it'll be interesting. They're finally going to make some route changes and try and lighten my load a little bit.
It's right here.
It's right here. Okay.
I write tiny.
That's a tough call. I'd say probably the chocolate. Even though if they had peach flavored chocolate, it would be really good. So, yeah.
You can put a check by both then.
I can. I'm not crazy over actual peaches, but it's like I love peach knee-high, which you never see anymore. We don't make a fan of peach. I love peach nectar. Like I say, a peach-flavored chocolate would be good.
So you can put a check by both.
Okay.
Okay, and then
Do a smaller check by peaches.
like chocolate peaches, like peach chocolate.
Or peach slices dipped in chocolate. That could be good.
Oh,
Wow.
I like that.
Maybe we need to dig out the chocolate fountain one day and try that.
Yeah.
Because I know we got one around here somewhere.
Mama has it.
Yeah. Get the chocolate fountain going one night and we'll do fondue for dinner.
This is good.
Mm-hmm. All right.
What's fondue?
Fondue is like when you got cheese or chocolate or something like that going in a pot, and you take your little pieces of bread or food or whatever you're eating and dip them in it. Yeah.
So I'll stick like the food in there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go see what my mom wants. What?
So my side check got really quiet. What happened, guys? What time we got? All right, we still got a few minutes here. We got about 5 minutes before I need to be on the porch, guys. Woohoo! I'm gonna make sure I didn't get a thing where she's on early. I get my envelope back. Wow.
Watch my food.
Do what?
Watch my food.
Okay.
Mama said you watch.
Here we go. Another commercial break, guys.
She don't wear makeup and he's a dick. Come shoot the shit with Pam and Rick.
There we go. Gotta get the word from our sponsor in there.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
We are
Watch
under
my
a
food.
freeze watch.
Watch my food, okay?
Okay, I'm watching it. Doesn't mean I won't eat it.
Don't
Is
eat
safe
it.
around me?
Don't eat it.
I'll try it.
I'll bring you out your food when your food is ready.
Oh, okay.
So you won't have
Really?
to get up. Yeah.
Wow.
And your knee is ready.
Yeah, it's from what? Have my leg propped on it? Yep. Let's see. Yeah, this would be interesting. This should be our first snow of the season, but I'm thinking it probably isn't going to be a whole lot. Let's see what they show me. Okay. We're showing start of snow coming in at 4 a.m. and then just windy at 5. 6 and 7 a.m. is snow. 1 p.m. is snow. Oh, let me see. Blowing snow in between here. Okay. So basically from 8 to noon, we have blowing snow. Okay.
I just came to grab one piece of food.
So my doctor's appointment's at 9:45 in the morning. So I get to go in the blowing snow. And then, yeah, come 2 o'clock, which is cloudy, 5 o'clock, partly cloudy, clear by midnight. Ooh. And then we got beautiful weather all week. So I hope to get out and do some videos and address some. But I do need to, like I say, bust some wood. So Monday I'll probably do, Monday I got the doctor. And one of these days I've got to cut a branch off my neighbor's tree across the street. It's got a big branch, it's cracking and hanging down over the sidewalk. And he's so afraid it's going to fall on somebody. So I told him I'd get up there and cut it down for him. Even though I'm not walking worth a shit, but hey, you do that for neighbors. Good neighbors. So yeah. So all of a sudden my chat went dead. Ah. Do I need to replace the batteries in my side chat? Maybe it'll run again? No. But yeah, now we'll see how the weather's holding. If it's not too windy, maybe I can get that branch cut tomorrow and get it out of the way. And one of these days, like I said, I want to replace my chimney. What?
Down the hall, it smells skunky.
It smells funky?
Skunky.
Skunky. Oh, do we have a skunky outside?
Pepe.
Probably.
Pepe's somewhere. Pepe is
Pepe Le Pew. Okay.
Pepe Le Pew. Two people just
Okay, looks like Pam and Rick are coming on, guys. I'm going to be over on the porch. We'll see y'all over there. Take care and have a good evening. And you'll see more of me this week. I'm on vacation. Bye. Bye. I got that move from Juliet Noor. Bye. Clever channel. Talk to you later, people.